Hi, my name is David Szanto, and I'm a freelance academic currently teaching at William Angliss Institute in Melbourne, Australia, and University of Ottawa in Ottawa, Canada. On the question of the food studies canon, I don't really believe in canons in general because I think that particularly in fields like food studies, we need to keep evolving and changing who we think are important writers and what books should be on the list of the best important reads in the world. But here are some of my favorites. First of all, this one with all of the great thinking and wonderful philosophizing that Lisa Heldke puts into food. This book brings together not just her wonderful writing, but a whole bunch of really interesting advanced thinking on food, but starting from a philosophical point of view and kind of creating the plumbing, as Lisa likes to say, for a lot of other food work that needs to be done. Food in Society by Peter Atkins and Ian Bowler, really kind of fundamental understanding of global food systems in a comprehensive, easy to read, super engaging way, kind of maybe from a previous history perspective, but really necessary for understanding how things fit together. Imagining Sustainable Food Systems, edited by Alison Blair Palmer, a completely necessary text if we're going to keep living. Sweetness and Power, Sidney Mintz's very important book on the relationships between sugar production, slavery, colonialism, and all the other stuff that happened in eras gone by, but that keeps happening every time we put sweetened something into our mouth. Of course, Warren Belasco's Key Concepts on Food, a really fundamental introductory primer, I think, for anybody who's starting out in learning about food and food systems and food culture. Much more recently, but much more fabulously, a whole book dedicated to feminist food studies, a new approach that understands bodies, materiality, race, class, and gender, a whole bunch of other intersectional perspectives in complex and critically important ways for long-term food understanding. The Bloomsbury Book of Food and Popular Culture, edited by the fabulous Katie Lebesco and Peter Nakarato, in which I have a piece on food and performance, but which really helps to put together the daily lived experience of food and its role in popular culture with bigger philosophical, sociological, anthropological perspectives, making it really necessary as a way to understand food and its materiality and its material impact in the world. Another one that's about art and performance, Experimental Eating, put together by the Center for Genomic Gastronomy, that plays with different ideas through perspectives of art, design, making, performance, and social critique. And then necessary is literature, because without literature, we just sometimes don't understand the critical element of emotionality, place, identity, feeling, wonder, supposition. And so MFK Fisher, who's I think the greatest food writer in the history of the world, who puts herself into everything but is also cool and distant from her subject, but who makes us understand the ways that food is through our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and everything. And Ruth Ozecki's novel, My Year of Meats, which I think is the greatest actor network theory novel ever written, if such a category exists, but that tells us in really clear and beautiful and moving prose the relationships between meat, violence, women's bodies, industrial production of food, commerciality, television, media, and everything that is modern. Then, as supplements that have helped inform the way I understand stuff, indigenous research methods, really critical for thinking about relationality, thinking through relationality, acting and being and doing with rather than on top of or for or because of. Also not in this list, but also very important, Patricia Sethi and Sela Shukla's newest book, Indigenous Food Systems, which is a must-read, but I've lent it out to somebody. Vibrant Matter by Jane Bennett, talking about materiality and its agencies. Link to that, Bruno Latour and everything he's ever written, and offering us new ways of understanding how things relate and connect to each other. Richard Schechner and the whole canon of, dare I say it, performance and performance theory literature. tumbling books. And Design, Speculative Everything, a great book on imagining alternative futures and alternative possibilities. And The Design Culture Reader, which shows us how design is everything and everywhere, including particularly in food. And finally, absolutely not last, absolutely not least, but just the pausing place that I will stop at for the moment, Jack Halberstam's amazing writings on queerness and failure, showing how some of our most critical understandings of food, success, growth, and being good even are probably problematically understood and maybe should be rethought in order to get to another better place. That's it for now. Much more to come.